Well, hello model car fans. Welcome to the Muscle Car Modeler. My name is Raul, and here I'm going to get started on my 71 Olds 442 Johan rebuilder here that I showed you and teased you on. But now we're actually going to go over all of the components, just dump all this out, and make sure there's nothing left in the box there. And although here's the bumpers and wheels that were chrome, so I'm going to leave those in the box for now. And here's the chassis I plan to use since I'm going to rebuild. I really don't need to strip this, so this is going to be used, but the rest of it I'm going to go over and see what shape everything's in. I know this one's a great rebuilder. It came apart real easy. Very nice. It was an eBay purchase a few years back. And it is an actual 71, and so I bid on it. I didn't know if I was going to win it or not, but I didn't bid too aggressively, but I put my maximums, like, alright, I don't want to spend over $100 for this, and I actually got it. It was $97 shipped. I still got the receipt for it, but it was a few years back. But the problem I had was I didn't know what color to do it in. Don't really like this orange on this car, but decided that since it's so complete and has everything, I'm going to build it right back to stock. Just keep it right as Johan issued it. So my main thing is now I need to strip all this stuff, but I don't see any primer. And whatever spray paint they used, they got it everywhere, inside and out. So whoever built this did a nice clean job. So I'm going to start putting some of this stuff in here and get it ready for super clean. Because I bought a fresh bottle of that. Windows are very nice. I mean, really not a whole lot of scratches, just got a little bit of the glue and paint up here. Not too worried about that, as I usually will paint this whatever headliner material. So if I do black interior and black headliner, I'll just black this sections out and not worry about that. Because a lot of times that'll still show. I'll probably put that in a stripper and see how it looks, but I'm not going to do that in the first batch, so I'll set that aside. Interior. So that's nice and clean. Nothing there. Just all this stuff. So strip that. The engine. I popped it all apart, but no, the oil panel leave on there. There's no panel in there, so you can see right into the tranny. I'm pretty sure I'm just going to leave all of that alone. It was glued. Was. But now that it's open, maybe I'll fill that in and put a black piece in there. Now one thing this one didn't have, so that'll get stripped. Tires. Here's the exhaust manifolds. Those were there. Carburetor. Here's the shifter. Whoop, shifter broke. So there's the shifter. So I have to reattach that. But we'll leave that alone for now. I'll put that in the bag so I don't lose it. Distributor, carburetor, battery, air cleaner. Yeah, here's the custom valve covers. I may leave these on there as kind of a day two thing because that's how the kit was built. I'll check my stash and see if I have a set of the stock ones, but I'll set those aside, leave them there. Steering wheel, which is not broke, but it's painted silver, so I'll strip that. And here's the wheel backs with the axle. Here's both axles. So I'll put that in there. Tail light, which super nice shape. Don't see any glue marks. I think that was just slid onto the pins. So we'll start putting, there's the wheel backs. Put the wheel backs in there. Put the brake booster in there. Here's the dashboard. The grill insert. Same thing, no glue marks. So I think that was, if I remember right, that was just slid right onto the pins. So that wasn't really glued either. Fan. Start putting all this stuff in there. Now, another thing I have to repair, which should be pretty easy to do, It's got a nice alternator with a nice bracket, but it broke free of the fan, the blade or the fan belt. So there's something else I gotta glue, put it back together. The alternator is glued in there, but it's chrome. I'm gonna strip that also. It may come loose, it may not. We'll see. Doesn't feel like it's coming loose. Actually, kind of does. I'm going to leave it because I'm going to strip the chrome off it and paint it anyway, aluminum. And here's the radiator with the top piece. This is glued in place too. It's a separate part, but we'll strip that as well. The firewall. And then the original tires, which they've got glue on, but you can flex these and this glue usually just comes right off. Yeah, here we go. There's a chunk of glue. I'm just using the back side of my blade and popping it loose and off. Being that I'm kind of doing a plain Jane one, I think I'm going to keep these tires and use the white letter or the white wall. Normally I put white letter tires on them because it's a muscle car. But I'm going to do this one kind of plain Jane base 442. You know, pretty much how you got it out of the box from Johann. So I'm going to leave that alone. So I'll probably pick a not so crazy color. I don't know what color I'll go with. I don't know if I'll go with like a light green or something, or white, or I don't know, maybe do another yellow car. I've just done a couple yellow ones lately. There we go. Just cleaning off all the old glue, just pops right off of this old vinyl. There's some right here. That's just coming right off, making it even easier. This chassis, since it's all cut up, I'm not going to use this. This is just kind of sitting there. So, may try and remove these inserts where the steel axles go through. Oh, that's what I got to check. Oh yeah, it's got the small holes here, so I really should use the steel axles instead of modifying this engine. And the engine should be, if I remember right, 71 small block Olds motors. Well, not really a small block, but the 350 displacement ones should be gold, where the 455s are blue in 71. This one I'm going to do is kind of a, I don't know if it's going to be a 455 yet or 350. I'll look at the options again. But it definitely shouldn't be orange. So that's definitely going to get repainted. And I'll put this in there too. And we'll pour some of this in there and get it started and check on it in an hour or so. Had to go buy a brand new one because I dumped it out on my last one, so here we go. I'm just pouring it slowly because I don't want to splash around. Usually I'm doing this in the garage or in the backyard, not in the house. But that's where the camera is. So we'll let that sit there, and this is something I love. See how it's foaming right there? That's usually the silvers. The silver paints do that. I've already got some orange coming off. It's coming right off. Alright, Alright, get these tires out of the way. These are clean. So I don't need those sitting here. This stuff can, I'll just move it out of the way. Put the valve covers and shifter in this bag here. Well, I'll let this work for an hour or so, and then I'll come check back on it. Get my little brush and brush it off and everything, and we'll see how she goes. I'll throw this in separately so you can see it foam like the silver parts usually do. I don't know why. It's kind of fun to watch, but we'll let it soak, and you can already see the orange paint right there in the foam already, so it's coming right off. So this thing's going to strip real easy and real cleanly. Alright, so I've let a couple hours go by, and you can see it's turned orange a bit. So we'll start moving some of this around, and we'll see what we got here. So just gonna move this over here and put the lid here so I have something to put it in. Of course I got gloves on. Look at that. Nice white motor. That's without doing anything. Let's see, how'd the glass come out? Well, it took most of the orange right off of there without doing anything. Let's see, this is the air cleaner. Took all the silver off. Here's my toothbrush. Of course, this is an old toothbrush. I don't use it on my teeth anymore. Look at that. That just came right off. Only orange is in the glue spots where the glue was. And black's still there. Oh, well, it is coming off. Alright, so that's mostly come off. Let's see, we got a alternator here. Or no, yeah, this is the power steering pump. That's pretty clean. Just a little worried about breaking the remainder of that. So I'm just being very gentle. Let's see, what else we got in here? Pretty clean firewall. And that's just going to get blacked out again, but here's the dash. That was silver. Not anymore. One very clean, nice hood. It's funny how the black parts have yellowed a bit, but the other parts are still white. There's the tranny. grill inserts. Just being real careful, I don't want to splatter this stuff around too much, because this is my hobby room. Normally I would do this in the sink. There's the other one. No chrome, almost no black. There's the steering wheel. Another wheel, manifold. The last wheel. Whoops. There's the brake booster and master cylinder. So one more exhaust manifold, I think. Oh, the fan. There's the manifold. Oh, that's right, I put the axles in there. Yeah, now there's no paint on that axle. There's the battery. Oh, come on. There we go. Both axles. I think that's it. I feel one more part. Funny thing is, I can't think of any missing parts. Here we go. Let's put this in. Watch this thing start to foam up. Take the gloves off for now. This has got a laminate on it, my table here. So this is just a kind of like a, not really wallpaper, it's contact paper for cabinets and stuff. That's what this is. So I can change it out and clean it up, and it's just a wood board under here for my table. So that protects it very well. See how the silver foams up? I love that. It just, and then it comes out nice and white and clean. So I'll let that go for a few minutes and watch that. And then we'll come back and check on it. I'll go wash those in the actual sink, get that cleaned up. I get a paper towel and wipe up what dripped. Try and keep my work surface clean. Alright, well that's doing that. Let's clean up those. Alright, get those cleaned up. Let that continue to soak. Well, let's go rinse this stuff off. Alright, we are back from washing everything, so let me just start laying it all out to dry, but really clean, other than there's a little bit right here where it's just paint buildup, and then this is glue. And sometimes you can actually scrape it off and get the glue to let go, because if it's on top of the paint, right here, sometimes. Let's see if I can. No, I'll do that with sandpaper and sand it. But just a little bit there. Everything else is clean. A little bit right here. No, that's the same side. Okay, so there's that. Hood. Hood's really clean. Alright, and we got one very clean firewall. Even the glass. Took the paint residue mostly off of the top there. So that's pretty cool. You can still see where the glue had frosted it. But that's clean. Engine block. Transmission. Battery. So all this stuff came out really, really clean. Dash. And should make restoring this one really easy. It's always nice that way. All the wheel backs came out pretty clean. Here's a rear and a front. So there's 2 of the 4 wheel backs. Here's the other 2. And a lot of times if you still have like a little bit, like there's a little bit on this one, but that may be where I didn't get the toothbrush in there very well, you can throw them back in there and let them soak some more. These came out nice. Just got to get those glued back together and try not to break them. Steering wheel. Even got it out of the center spoke. I had to use the brush there and brush it a little more aggressively and get it out of there. Air cleaner. Both manifolds. Those are ready. The grill. Fan. Distributor. Now, I didn't see the radiator hose, so the radiator hose is probably still in here. That might be the part I felt but didn't find. Look at that, this is getting really clean. So I'll let that, turn that upside down. Let it soak some more. And I'll get to that. See about maybe finding that hose in there too. Now the camera's back on because I forgot to turn it on here, but found one of my missing parts. There's the carburetor that was in there. And here's the interior tub. Let's just scrub it off and it's gonna be really nice. See, it's just coming right off. That's just real quick, and then I'll go into the bathroom and wash that off better, but that pretty much takes care of all of that. So she's stripped and ready to start building. So it's nice that project like this, and I knew it ahead of time just from experience, that this was going to be a really easy one to strip. It was going to go really well. Get the interior finished. I'll just go in there and scrub that up, get that all ready. And it's ready to start painting and reassembling, and any mold lines that weren't sanded off of that body, I'll take care of those. But that pretty much completes this one, so she's stripped and ready to go. So clean up my mess here and continue on. But thank you for tuning in and subscribing and all your comments. I really appreciate it. And you guys, you have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you next Saturday, and we'll continue on with this one.